NASCAR takes another step towards its climax today. Any one of 5 drivers could lead the standings after a 300-mile event, a race that features a star-studded field, a very fast and unforgiving track, and Wally's World at top speed. Field of starters in today's 300-mile NASCAR Busch Series race, just rolling off the pit lane to begin their parade and pace laps here at the Kansas Speedway. Very fast mile-and-a-half track in Kansas City, Kansas. Starting lineup for today's race. Michael Waltrip setting a new track record for Busch Series cars and winning pole position. David Green, one of the championship contenders, just behind him in row 2. And while you look at the rest of the starting lineup, we want to get Jimmy to brief Wally on track conditions and things since he was out there earlier.
I mean, Jimmy, you just left the racetrack about an hour ago, so tell Wally how things are out there, okay?
You got him. I'm going to try to get him. Hey, Wally, it's Jimmy in the booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Well, they're asking me to give you some advice based on what happened with me earlier today, and I personally think the track's got a lot of grip. I think it's going to get warmer and tighter as it goes on, but low pressures in those first few laps. Watch yourself, especially in the dirty air. It's going to be a little edgy, and I think the groove's still pretty narrow, but best of luck today. Have a great day.
Pace trucks off. Michael Waltrip and Casey Kane are on the front row, and we're set to start the Mr. Good Sense 300.
Waving the flag from the NASCAR official. The flagman starts the race.
It's like Harvick's. Is that Harvick?
Is that Harvick on the bottom? Or something is up with the 29 car.
Stuck in gear? Something?
It's running at least. Looks like he's getting up to speed now. Maybe he broke a gear on the start.
And the 26 car that he just went by up on the top of the racetrack going slowly is Chad Blunt. So he's had some problems trying to get up to speed. There's Chad.
See a lot of smoke out of the back of the 26 car.
You ready? I got no brakes.
No brakes.
We're ready for you.
Either.
That's not good. Michael Waltrip leads. David Green second. Casey Kane third. Mike Bliss fourth. As Blunt comes back around to pit road, and this ought to be interesting to see how he gets this thing stopped with no brakes.
Hear him using the transmission to slow the car down.
Well, now you got to turn it off.
Yeah, I had a
try
problem
to use
with
the clutch.
The ASA car one time, and I went through 3 or 4 times. I wouldn't want to shut it off and stop in my stall.
I got no brakes.
Fourth place, Stacy Compton underneath Mike Bliss. Compton in the 59 and Bliss in the 20. Kevin Harvick started the race in 13th position. Matty's back to 24th. What happened?
Jimmy, what's Chad Canals tell you usually before the starts? Clean the tires and make sure you clean it out. The car just loaded up.
The carburetor just had too much fuel in the engine when he hit the accelerator.
That 10 car is about to wreck.
That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, you're very loose in the inside of someone, and the 10 had his left front underneath the white line too, and that didn't help.
And a new leader, David Green underneath Michael Waltrip into turn 1.
Go up there and get your 5 points and settle in.
Yep. 5 bonus points if you're new to NASCAR for leading a lap during the race, and those bonus points can make a big difference at the end of the season.
To go back to what happened to Kevin, the crew chiefs always tell you, tighten your seatbelts, clean the car out, clean your tires up, and after years of hearing it, I mean, you do it a little bit, but you're like, oh, okay, anyways, well, This is the first time I've seen it show up, and tomorrow I'll definitely be cleaning my engine up.
Kind of like listening to your dad for a while. After a while, you sort of don't hear the things he's telling you, even though you should.
Exactly.
Casey Mears in the 19, being challenged by Greg Biffle. Just behind them, first side-by-side action. It's Jamie McMurray in the 1, inside of Brian Vickers in the 5.
Oh, we
got some trouble.
Uh-oh.
Damon Lusk into the wall. Caution's out.
The wall. He's spun and hit the wall. Right at 2. You got yellow. You got yellow. You got it.
No more racing back to the caution in NASCAR, remember. So everybody rolling out of the throttle here, and the safety truck's already rolling to the wrecked car.
Well, it's such a great thing to see.
Did a good job of getting it slowed down some, but obviously a lot of damage to the 6 car.
The safety truck was moving up to the 6 to make sure he was okay. About the time the truck got there, he drove away from him.
Let's get a look at what happened to put us under caution. This was over in turns 1 and 2.
Lusk is on the outside, and there just isn't any grip there. I don't think that Scott Wimmer, the 23, got in the back of him. I think he just simply lost grip up in that high line.
Yeah, being up in the second groove probably isn't real. There isn't a lot of grip up there, and he was in dirty air in general, but I don't think the 23 was close enough to him either to loosen him up. It just looks like, well, he's creeping in there. I think the 57 probably disturbed the air more than anything. As you see, the 57 was just coming by the spoiler, and that probably upset the car and turned him around.
Ouch.
That's too bad.
Parker Jr. just inside the top 10.
And sometimes the middle is a very elusive thing when it comes to this chassis setups.
I was just thinking about for our happy hour, new tires. I'm not sure what the Busch rules are, but when we started on stickers, until we got a heat cycle in on the tires, the cars were really loose. And once they had a heat cycle on them, they got really tight. So I would anticipate seeing a lot of these cars getting tight.
Keep an eye on it.
Because a heat cycle is what he's talking about. They have run these cars about 5 or 6 laps, got them up at temperature, and when they cool off, that is what we call a heat cycle on tires.
Couple changes in the top 6 there. Stacy Compton sliding under Casey Kane to pick up a spot.
And there comes Wally trying to work his way up through the field. That's Anthony Lazzaro in the 03 car he just passed.
So Wally's up to 26th place. And Casey Mears right behind him with a little bit more fuel, though.
Hopefully not too tight.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Harvick trying to make up the ground he lost on the start.
Brian Vickers at 5 on the outside. You don't want to be there.
No, that's not a good place to be yet. He's unfortunately going backwards. I know they hope to be going forward today.
Yeah, remember that 5 car is the championship leader in the NASCAR Busch Series. He started 17th, and he's back to 20th, and about to lose that.
Now they're lined up. It's hopefully he'll be able to just stay calm. It's hard to stay calm when you're going backwards like this, and there's so much on the line. And looks like he's at least in line now, and hopefully they can get the first pit stop and work on it.
That's Todd Bodine there in the white 48 car, and here comes the 59 of Stacy Compton. A lot of the guys in the garage here this morning talking about the 59, just how fast he was. Tried to get by Michael Waltrip.
Looks like Hornaday in the 2 is keeping pace with Compton's forward progress.
Yeah, he moved by Busch there in the restart, 2 by 20. And there's Scott Riggs in the 10 car, second place man in the NASCAR Busch Series Championship. And he runs at 11th. He just lost 1 spot as Bobby Hamilton Jr. is starting to move up through the top 10. Jamie McMurray in the yellow freight car, the number 1, working on Greg Biffle in the 7th. That'd be for 11th and 12th.
Biffle dived back to the inside. He didn't want any part of that outside groove.
He didn't.
Can't blame him.
No. And what's tough, too, when you're in the inside car going into turn 1, the transition's pretty abrupt, and it really loads the left front spring up, and you'll coil behind the left front, and it'll make the car shoot to the right. So you'll see some cars a little out of control going into 1, and that's why it just loads the left front and shoots you up the track.
So, you might just told someone down in the garage area something they didn't realize, that they're coil behind the left front that's causing that problem.
Should I be quiet then?
Yeah, don't tell secrets like that. Goodness gracious.
No. He's got a dish if he's here, man. That's part of it. Here's Hamilton Jr. He's rolling. This will be the 4th spot he's picked up since the restart as he gets around Tony Raines and picks up 8th place.
I think it makes it exciting to watch the Busch racing. Guys don't typically work with one another like they do in the Cup Series, and just the last few passes we've seen, there've been guys that run on the Cup side, and you see them playing the give and take game a lot better. It makes for great TV to see everybody racing so hard, but looks like a lot of guys are using their head here early.
McMurray underneath Joe Nemechek for a spot. That's 10th place. He'll put the 1 car up into the top 10. And Hamilton Jr. threw another one. Just went by Hank Parker Jr. in the 8.
Man, he is going somewhere in that 25 car. And you know what? He's running the NASCAR Winston Cup race tomorrow in a 25 car. 30, it's number 35, but this team, he's fast over there.
Yeah, he was flying in practice. I think he was 2nd or 3rd on the board, and in the first practice, he made some long runs that looked really good, and then again backed it up in the 2nd practice.
So Hamilton Jr. up to 7th after starting back in 16th place.
Watch the left front on that thing.
Three-way race for a spot here. Jeff Green's in the 92, Kevin Harvick in the 29, Jason Keller in the 57, and they're racing for 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Personally, it's great to see the 92 car back there, and Randy Herzog, and I drove to those guys for a lot of years, and it was just a shame to see the Herzog-Jackson team have to shut down. And fortunately, they probably want to be going forward, and they're slipping back a little right now. But hopefully, they'll get a sponsor, and they'll be able to run again next season.
The team that you ran the NASCAR Busch Series with a couple years ago, of course, won with them, Chicago. Yep. We all remember that.
We came together a long ways, from off-road truck racing to the Busch Grand National, and they are why I'm where I am today. They gave me all the opportunities and all the equipment to do what I've done.
And the reason they're here, this is their home area.
This is hometown for them. I know that there's probably they're around us somewhere up here in a suite watching, and hopefully the 92 will get up front.
29 car Kevin Harvick. Remember, he fell back some at the start, Matt. Now it looks like he's slowly creeping forward and gaining some of those spots.
He's been battling a tight race car most of the afternoon, Alan. And then his car owner, Richard Childress, got on the radio and said, you know, you might want to try what some of the leaders are doing, and that's climbing up to maybe the next lane. And it's exactly what he did. It's helped the race car, Dave.
Matt, David Green asked for a little more grip all the way around, air pressure adjustments for that. Also a chassis adjustment on the left side. 4 tires for Green and a fuel cell full of fuel before he leaves pit road. Throws the water bottle out the window. Crew finishing up on the left side. Matt, back to you.
And Casey Kane is in. Service complete on the right side. They've already made a track bar adjustment. Remember, we told you his car was just a tick free. Dave?
Tight on entry for Jason Keller. They will make a chassis adjustment on the right side for that. 4 tires for Jason here on lap 61, Marty.
Joe Nemechek flies down pit road after a 4-tire stop, Dave. He said it just feels like we're killing the right front, sliding the nose in the corner for about the last 30 laps. Nemechek has 4 fresh tires and a wedge adjustment.
So Nemechek rejoins the race. Casey Kane has got to come back to pit road.
No.
Missing lug nut. Ouch. He was running in the top 3. Mike Bliss is on pit road. Gives up 3rd spot for his stop. Kevin Harvick is coming in behind him. Also, Jason Leffler is coming onto pit road. These stops under green at lap 62.
Right now it's a nervous time if you're a crew chief, because the cars getting back on the racetrack with the new tires are sticker tires, and they're very slick, and almost somebody's want to get to pit road is looking out the windows here of a 12 car, but right now is the best opportunity for a wreck.
Matt, go ahead.
A set of scuff tires going on. Mike Bliss and Chevrolet, they've already made the wedge adjustment. His car was tight, but they felt it was more aero tight than chassis tight, so they made a slight adjustment. Meanwhile, the 25 of Bobby Hamilton Jr. is in, making an air pressure adjustment on that 25 car, Marty.
Well, Wally is on pit road. He is very, very tight. Got tight in, tight off the corners. They went up 2 rounds on the track bar for Wally. It'll be 4 tires for him, and they sit on pit road waiting for all the fuel to get in. Holding for that. Now it's full of fuel. Wally goes back down pit road.
So Wally glanced up in the rearview mirror as he tried to, as he drove out of his pit box to be assured that no one was coming down pit road. He would drive out in front of them.
Stacey Compton is in. Ashton Lewis is in. Marty?
Stacey Compton came on the radio at lap 56, a tight exclamation point. Very tight for the 59 much. They make a wedge adjustment. They also make a right front air pressure adjustment. And the 59 car running not too bad, but got really tight at the end of that run.
And this is all bad news for a lot of these guys, because now they put themselves in a situation. If this thing should be green, they're getting themselves in trouble. Dave, car coming to you.
That would be Jamie McMurray. They're going to make a track bar and an air pressure adjustment for him. Tied off the corner has been his complaint. Jimmy, you were talking a little bit about a high line for Jamie. It was mainly, I believe it was mainly because he was tight coming off the corner. 4-tire stop for the 1 car. Matt?
Dave is a 38, comes back down pit road. Leader Michael Waltrip makes his way to his pit stall. Bobby Kennedy and the guys ready to change the tires. They're going to put a set of scuff tires on. They did a lot of scuffing during the final practice session. No adjustments though for Michael Waltrip Chevrolet. He said the car is awesome, puts the car in gear. To Marty.
Second place man in the championship, Scott Riggs on pit road. Remember, he started way too loose on that run, so they're going to go down 1 round on the track bar. He was fairly happy with it when he got behind other cars. It got too tight. 4 tires for Riggs. They'll send him back down pit road.
Marty, you already see the wedge wrench going in the back window. Going to make a significant change to Hank Parker Jr. Chevrolet. The car was just way too tight. Going the scuff tire route as well. A good stop for the Chance 2 team.
Ron Hornaday took over the the lead when Michael Waltrip pitted. Now here he comes down the pit lane. Tony Raines following him in. That'll make Todd Bodine the leader for now. Matt?
And Hornaday third in the championship points standings, making his way to his pit stop. Ricky Byers is going to try to fix that race car with a track bar adjustment. The car, which is too tight up off the corner. Ron felt like if they could fix the tightness and get that car to cut more up off the corner, they would be in really good shape as they go to work on the left side of the car. Service complete.
So Hornaday leaves, and Todd Bodine is the leader. Johnny Sauter, one of the drivers who had not pitted, is coming on to the... he's got some damage right rear.
And Marty, is he out of fuel in that 21 car? Is it running?
He was out of fuel. BP radioed in. He's out of fuel, but he got it to fire back as he came down pit road. Car was extremely tight. He said, we have to free it up, guys, for Johnny Sauter, the man who won a couple weeks back at Richmond. It will be a 4-tire change and fuel in the car.
You talked about the damage in the right rear. Oh, and they're trying to get the engine started in the 21. Here's how it happened.
This is Wally.
Trying to get pit road out of gas.
3 wide, Joe, outside, clear low, clear all around. Good job, buddy.
That's when he ran out of fuel, my guess is, and Wally got in the back of him.
That's what it looks like. It could have been a heck of a wreck. There's 3 guys there all piled up.
Got it going, and he's back out on track. Todd Bodine is the leader. Then Michael Waltrip will take over once Todd pits. And Todd is on the pit lane now.
Bobby Jr. is probably got the fastest car now that everybody cycled back around.
Here's the 48 car on pit road. Dave?
Welcome back to the Busch Series for Todd Bodine. The car very tight right now. They're going to make a track bar and an air pressure adjustment, try to make that car better for Todd. He also commented that the tires feel very rough from the start. He really didn't complain about the match, but they're just rough.
Trouble off turn 4. Tim Fedowa sliding through the tri-oval grass. Caution flags out.
Luckily, he didn't hit anything.
And luckily, all these cars had made a pit stop before this happened. Otherwise, we could have had a car or two in the lead lap of their own.
And just to point out, because of the no racing back to the caution rule, Todd Bodine would have lost a lap on that pit stop. He just got out on the lead lap.
Really, I was curious about that.
Because Michael Waltrip slowed down like he's supposed to when the caution came out. Todd finished his service and got off the pit lane before Michael came to the start-finish line.
And looks like our lucky dog winner is Scott Wimmer. He's the first car, 1 lap down in the 23. Attaboy, Scott.
You get the free pass after any pit stops that might happen under the caution flag. Second yellow of the race, Tim Fedowa. Okay, now it's official. We have an official lucky dog.
What is our sport turning into?
Fun, hopefully.
Yes, it's good for TV.
Yeah, let's get that rubber out and let's move that track bar down a half a turn. Okay? All right, just a half a turn. Okay, good job, guys.
Back underway. Michael Waltrip leads. Bobby Hamilton Jr. is second. Jamie McMurray with a quick challenge to the outside of Mike Bliss for third.
Todd Bodine in that 92 car. And I'm sorry, Jeff Green.
Yep.
Todd used to drive the car. He's trying to get that lap back. He wants to stay in front of Michael Waltrip, doing all he can to be in the lead.
It's like Casey Mears has some problems getting the speed.
A bunch of cars get all bottled up behind the leaders while we watch this up front. Hamilton Jr. going to try and follow Jeff Green underneath Michael Waltrip if he can.
Right now, Jeff Green needs to fight hard. If there's going to be a caution, well, it's going to be 3 wide. If there's going to be a caution, it would be here now while everybody's bunched up.
There was going to be a caution flag if Hamilton Jr. in that 25 had tried to make it 3 wide. But I don't think it would have done Jeff Green any good in that 92. Man, what about the 25?
Well, Benny, Bobby Jr. asked Harold Holly under that caution just how much better Michael Waltrip was than the 25 car. Harold says, actually, you are about 0.3 of a second better than he is. And Bobby said, oh, okay. Well, let's definitely stay out there.
Yeah, okay.
Really, the 92 isn't in a bad situation. I know he wants to get up there and get his lap back on his own, but as long as he plays good defense and keeps the other lap cars behind him, he should be fine.
But here comes that 38 car. Casey Kane just past Mike Bliss on the outside, right behind Jimmy McMurray. He also has a lap down and appears to be as fast as any of these lead lap cars right now.
Forgot all about that.
Yeah, remember the penalty he had for the missing lug nut on the green flag pit stop. And Casey now 1 spot behind Jeff Green in the second car, 1 lap down.
Run, Jeff, run.
How do you feel about the new rule? I mean, everybody has universally praised the no racing back to the caution. But what about the giving someone a lap back? Are you for or not sure about that?
I'm 80% against it. It hasn't helped me yet, so of course I'm against it. The day it helps me, I'm going to love it. But it makes for good TV, and you know, if you look at when you have a bad day, or like Casey Kane, you know, he has a great race car, had a bad something bad happened to him. If he's in the right position, he gets his lap back. So it works out either way, but I think we need to earn it. Really, I honestly do think you need to go back up there and earn it.
Oh, last time going down in turn 1, our boy Wally, 3 wide. Tony Raines on the outside. Here comes Nemechek, the 87 on the outside. 48 cars. And Brian Vickers right behind. Watch this.
Whoa.
Wow. Oh, some great driving done by Nemechek, by Wally, bunch of these guys.
So they wrecked, they just didn't hit anything.
Exactly.
Biffle in the 7. Wow.
Man.
That is unbelievable.
You're in the middle. You're in the middle.
Larry McReynolds spotting for Wally.
What you say about that, Larry?
Another one coming, Wally. Got to stay up.
Wally can't blame it on the spotter. The spotter said you're in the middle.
How about it, Marty?
Yeah, Joe Nemechek's only question after that was, does Wally have a spotter, or is he doing this on his own?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Wally was looking up at the booth.
The response was, yes, Larry McReynolds is spotting for him. So Larry did do his job. We have proof of it.
Well, he wanted matching fenders. He's got a Band-Aid on the left front. Now he's going to have a Band-Aid on the right front.
I think he was looking up here. He wants his day job back.
I'm guessing Wally's opinion on that would be, well, you should make sure you're clear of me before you pull down in front of me to provide the counterpoint. So there you go. Michael Waltrip and Hamilton Jr. have freed themselves of the lap traffic. And just to update the championship contenders that pitted under that last caution, David Green, farthest of them in the running order, he's in 10th place right now on the racetrack. So the extra pit stop to take on a little bit of fuel has not hurt them that badly as far as track position. He gave up 3rd for the pit stop. Got a car sliding up to the top of turn 2.
Oh, he's getting around.
Caution.
Okay, just put it in gear and go. Now, don't too fast, Ron. You got to get it going straight before you put it in gear and go. Yeah, he's still driving it.
Do a cop stop at the end, and off you go.
Ron Hornaday, 3rd place driver in the NASCAR Busch Series Championship, was running 12th.
Get caught up, man. We'll get her fixed for you.
And it got away in turn 2.
38 will have his lap back.
Flat tire.
We go back racing here at Kansas. Michael Waltrip
Go. You go.
is the leader. Jamie McMurray is 2nd. Mike Bliss 3rd. Hank Parker Jr. 4th. Ashton Lewis is 5th. David Green, Scott Riggs, Jason Keller, Todd Bodine, Scott Wimmer, the rest of the top 10. The first car that pitted was Bobby Hamilton Jr. He's back in 13th now. He was 2nd before the pit stop.
Mike Wallace, the 4 car now, trying to stay in front of the leader, or at least be the first car 1 lap down in case the caution flag were to come back out.
How did the 92 fall so far back? Did they pit again? Now he's,
Jeff Green, you talk about?
Yeah, he must have pit.
Yes,
oh,
he did.
have trouble.
Trouble. Car in the wall. 2 of them in the wall. Jason Leffler and Brian Vickers, the championship leader.
Oh, man. And Vickers' car is not going back on the racetrack today.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody got into the...
Dave?
Okay, you just caught the end of that transmission. He said first, I am fine. Now, they had just pitted, put themselves way back in the pack because they were still working on that loose condition. They made a long pit stop, adjusted on the shock on the left rear, and put tires on the car. But he said earlier on the radio, when I'm in traffic, this car's got the devil in it. Looks like it bit him.
Brian Vickers, the championship leader in the NASCAR Busch Series, in the wall. He's in the top lane.
There he is on the outside, and it just goes in the corner, and a lot of dirty air, and Leffler just kind of spun to avoid. He backed off the throttle quickly, which spun the 0-0 out.
Back at Kansas Anderson just back under green in the Mr. Good Sense 300. Michael Waltrip leads in the 99. The car that was inside, the white car, is Jeff Green. First car 1 lap down, trying to get back in front of the leader.
We've seen this movie before.
Yeah, like the last restart.
Yeah.
Couple of Owensboro, Kentucky natives.
Michael is just too strong.
Michael able to hold him off. 20 cars on the lead lap. Big story of the moment. Championship leader Brian Vickers involved in the crash a moment ago. Marty?
Alan, a wild day for Brian Vickers. He never got the handle on the race car, but what happened in the accident?
I don't know. It just got out from under me, and we went to the fence. I mean, the GMAC crew did the best they could all weekend. This whole group, we're not going to give up. It's still a long year to go. But I tell you what, that car today, I've had cars with flat right rears and left rears that handle better than that. I don't know. Something may have been wrong. Maybe something broke. I don't know. It was more than evil. It was just horrible all day long. And the guys did the best they could to fix it on pit road, and it didn't work out. But there's always next week. We'll never give up.
That's actually the second car he's wrecked this week. Had a wreck at testing in Charlotte earlier this week. He said both hits were pretty hard.
Glad to see he's okay. But the third hit he'll take this week is the big hit in the championship standings. As a result of the poor finish, he's going to be probably somewhere down around 37th or 38th when the checkered flag waves.
Hank Jr. just got a bravery award point. Did you see that pass on the apron?
I did. 3 wide. Talk about Hank Parker Jr., that 8 car. We saw on the last lap. He's up in the 3rd position, challenging Mike Bliss in that 20 for second.
We spent so much time last week at Talladega talking about the out-of-bounds line. That rule does not apply here in Kansas or at any other track except Daytona. So if you can find a way to use the apron successfully, then you're welcome to it.
Getting on the apron is one thing. Coming back onto the banking is another, and that's usually where it gets interesting.
Parker Jr., solid run so far, Matt. 3rd place.
He has climbed up to 3rd, trying to win his first race, not in a fuel mileage type situation, but just on pure horsepower. The car tight early on. Kevin Bonomagny made some adjustments. It has worked. Now little Hank says, I can beat them all off of turn 2. I just need some help off turn 4.
Well, he's fallen back a little bit from Mike Bliss, and he's got a challenger on that rear bumper, the 1 car, Jamie McMurray.
Amazing what happens after you get some heat in the tires. Looks like Hank's now obviously slowing up, but when you get new tires on that car, you're so loose. Maybe it's loose enough and helps the guys move forward.
Here comes Hamilton Jr. Just got around Scott Riggs to pick up 7th. Now he's working on David Green for 6th. 46 car in front of them, Ashton Lewis running in 5th place. Remember, the 25 car was one of the few guys on the lead lap who pitted back at lap 85. Fell to 13th from 2nd. How about that 46 car, Marty?
Yeah, we haven't talked about him today, have we, Alan? He's having a terrific run. They've made no adjustments on that car throughout the day. They are set like a lot of teams who topped off a little earlier to go on one more stop for the rest of the race. And it was an off week last week. Ashton went to the U.S. Grand Prix in Indianapolis. Maybe he got a couple tips from those F1 guys. That's how to make that car fast. Doing really well, up in 5th right now for the youngster.
Racing there with David Green and Bobby Hamilton Jr. for that spot.
Bobby's car is one of the few that can sit right behind someone and still stay turning. Watch the 37 wash up, 25's coming inside of him now.
Change for 2nd. Check that 3rd place. McMurray back by Parker Jr. Big race for that one team. Their sponsor, Yellow Transportation, based here in the Kansas City area. By David Green to pick up 6th place now. So the 25 car is on the launch back toward the front.
As I said earlier, huge weekend for Hamilton Jr. and his team. Going to be running the NASCAR West Cup race tomorrow in a Marines car.
Qualified decent too for a one-off race, BP. 18th place. That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Hamilton Jr. yet to lead today, because Michael Waltrip's been in another zip code for most of the time.
The 25 is about the only one that has anything for the 99. It's just a matter of getting up there and getting to him.
Working on Ashton Lewis Jr. for 5th place.
we go. Ashton Lewis about to lose a spot to Hamilton Jr. That's 5th. Tony Raines, the 33 car, is slow to come down pit road. Looks like an engine problem, possibly. Marty?
He lost the engine, BP. Said it felt like it was a main bearing or something like that, and he's going to pull it down. They're going to actually they go right behind the wall. They were going to pop the hood. They sent him right to the wall. It is a terminal engine failure for Tony Raines, who had a great run going in the top 10.
It's too bad. Kind of in the story of his year. He's either finished up in the lead pack or not finished. One of the two. Scott Wimmer is the leader. Greg Biffle is second. Ashton Lewis third. Mike Bliss fourth. Stacy Compton is fifth. We'll check Michael Waltrip's restart position. 19th with 72 laps to go.
Well, Scott Wimmer made sure he was to the restart line before he restarted that time.
Absolutely, and hats off to Greg Biffle and that team. But the problem they had on earlier in the race with the window net being down, here they are in second with the end of the race in sight and packing a lot of air into the back of the 23.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not be second for long.
Yeah.
Here comes Biffle. Biffle out in front, Marty.
He's done an outstanding job, Alan. They've been really calm on the radio. They've known that they've had a good car all day long. When the window net thing happened, they didn't panic at all. Biffle kept coming up through the field. Problem is, they are 20 laps short on fuel. They will have to stop again.
It was at lap 45 that Biffle had the window net down and had to make the green flag pit stop.
Oh, we got a car spinning.
Rameau, Jason White. Now he's turning behind the wall.
I thought he was spinning. He was just turning.
He was making an unorthodox turn, but he had a mechanical problem, and he got it off the track and let it stay under green.
Very nice, Jason.
There you go.
Kevin Harvick's thinking about making the outside worker on Hank Jr.
Harvick trying to get 5th place away from Hank. 29 car Harvick this week. You asked me earlier during a commercial, why is Harvick running the 29 car? Story is he had cut this deal with Sonic, one of his sponsors, to run this Kansas City race before Richard Childress came up with the package from the Payday people for Harvick and Johnny Sauter to split the time in the 21. So that's why they have the extra car here this week, and Harvick's in this car.
Matt, what's your story on that?
Well, in fact, Benny, back in September, Kevin called Wally Rogers, who will work for Kevin's truck team next year, said, hey, I think I kind of have you involved in something. How about being a Busch Series crew chief when we get to Kansas? And Wally says, all right, we'll do it. They've had a great time this week, and it also gives Wally another chance just to work with Kevin because he will be working with that truck organization next year.
Kevin Harvick to field an effort in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series in 2004. And he is right now, whoa, Mike Bliss. Backwards. Yeah.
Bliss all of a sudden is very slow in that 20 car.
He just lost third to Ashton Lewis.
He's wishing he could get to pit road right now, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, he's got a problem. He's heading down on the apron. Here's second place, Ashton Lewis. What a great drive.
Terrific run for Ashton, the 46 car.
31-year-old from Chesapeake, Virginia, same hometown as Ricky Rudd.
The Civil Air Patrol in second spot. Marty, what about Ashton?
He's doing a great job, BP. They were a little tight on the last run, and when they did come down pit road during their last stop, they took a pound out of the right front tire. That's the only adjustment they've made to the car today. This is the team looking for a sponsor next year, and they are also about 10 laps short on fuel, unfortunately.
The 20 is slowing. Timmy Shutt asked Mike Bliss, could you swap boxes? He said, yes, that's not it. I believe maybe now it's a valve.
So engine trouble there for the Joe Gibbs 20, and Mike Bliss off the pace and falling down through the lead lap. He's in 19th now.
We look around, there's blue skies, but there's one little black cloud that's following that 20 around all day long.
I'm telling you.
All this year it seems like.
Hamilton Jr. has just gone by the 59 car to take a spot.
Watching Michael Waltrip. Remember, he restarted back in 19th place. He's up to 15th now. Working on Ron Hornaday in the 2 for 14th. And David Green trying to follow him through in that 37.
A bunch of cars right there. Hornaday, Mike Wallace.
Ooh, which way? Hornaday chose the wrong line there.
The 99 is giving us all hope for a top group tomorrow.
He's given me hope for an exciting finish, because I'll tell you why. After the penalty, when Hamilton Jr. fell back, got the caution, caught back up. Remember we said we all thought Hamilton Jr. was the only one that had anything for Michael. Well, Hamilton Jr. stayed out in that last caution. He's in front of Michael. So now Michael's got to come up and pass Hamilton Jr. and all these other cars in the final 64 laps.
So Hank Parker Jr. trying to get by Scott Wimmer for third spot. He has the preferred line for most, maybe not Michael Walter, but most cars want the bottom, and Parker Jr. goes to the position, third position.
So David Green to fourth place and making a bid to try and reclaim the Busch Series championship lead today.
Behind the 10, there's a long line of cars that if the 10 isn't able to get up, get going, he could probably lose 3 or 4 more spots easily.
Wow. 58 points to fourth. And after today, there'll be 6 races to go. It's going to come right down to the season finale in Homestead, mid-November. Last time I remember going into a championship with 3 drivers close together going into the last race of the season was that great 92 Winston Cup fight with Kawicki and Elliott and Davey Allison at Atlanta.
The 5 or 6 drivers mathematically had a chance to win that championship in Atlanta.
And it was a thriller of the day.
It was unbelievable.
It depends on who you are. If you're the crew chief or the driver, you're hating it.
Yeah, you want to be out front by a bunch.
Riggs about to lose another spot to Jason Keller in 57.
And from Scott's perspective on the Dover incident, just to put a button on that, no one felt worse about it than he did.
Oh, that's true.
No one. He doesn't want to race that way. It happened. He felt badly about it. He can't change it now. How about Jason Keller, Dave?
This is better than they expected to do because I checked in their pit very tight behind other cars, and they lost track position when they took on 4 tires on that last stop. Talked to Steve Addington, the crew chief. We only wanted to take on 2, he said, but remember that vibration we had to change all 4.
Meanwhile, as we watch this, Jason Keller, now he pulls up behind Hank Parker Jr.
It's going to be for 6th place, BP.
And Hank Parker Jr., the 8 car, he's spending some money these last 10 laps or so. Lost 4 or 5 spots.
Spending some money?
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, he's losing money because they pay for each position. Pays more for 4th than he does 6th. And
see the 57 stall out the 8. When you get inside someone like that, you just try to put your right front fender at their left rear quarter, and it changes the air and dumps it onto the spoiler of the other car, and it's like dragging the brakes. It really stops the car, and you try to time it right too, also going into the corner so you can slow them down enough to clear them getting in the turn.
And we've often told you fans that you can feel the car beside of you, and that's how you can feel it because your car starts slowing down.
Parker Jr. slipping back a little bit, Matt.
And a tight condition, Benny, is costing him positions and costing him a lot of money.
Yes, it is. Spending that cash.
While all this has been going on, all these races for position, up front, Michael Waltrip starting to drive away from Hamilton Jr.
That's about a second right now between himself and the 25 car, a little over a second.
25 reeled him in, got within a couple car lengths, spent a few laps there, and then has slipped back. I would imagine the 25 would be tight as well.
Michael's car been better on the long run all day, and once he got away from that initial burst on the restart, he's been able to take advantage of it and open up a gap now of 1.13 seconds.
And how many laps does Michael have to run since his last stop? About 75?
He topped off with 73 to go.
73 to go.
But he's had a lot of caution flag laps.
Right.
That's the thing. Where's that? Well, give me a second. I'll get those numbers together. How's that?
Here we go. David Green, 37, going to 3rd spot.
Marching forward.
Yes. He's making some money.
Yeah. Yes, he is. Kevin's losing some money. In Kevin's situation, he just wanted to win.
Yeah.
Not racing for points.
Out of that 73 laps to go, he's had 18 laps of caution.
Yeah, so he could probably easily run about 70 laps of green flag racing. So I think Michael will be able to make it okay on fuel.
Good to go. Impressive charge late here by David Green.
Sure is.
I don't think there's any way he can get the second unless a caution comes out. He's probably 3 or 4 seconds at least behind second place of Bobby Hamilton Jr.
See David charging forward here in these late laps from 6th to 3rd. And there'll be 10 laps to go when the leader comes back around. David Green, 45 years old, Owensboro, Kentucky, 1994 NASCAR Busch Series champion. Trying to do it again a decade later.
And this guy driving the 99 car, Michael Waltrip, also from Owensboro, Kentucky. Going by Brian Vickers. And I can't believe, my hat's off to that crew on the 5 car. There's no way in the world I thought they'd be able to get that car back on the speedway.
Brian Vickers, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. With 5 laps to go. And I tell you what, Bobby Hamilton Jr.
Blew it right front. Blew it right front. The 99 did.
Michael did.
No, my goodness, the race leader. 5 laps to go.
Oh, man.
And they will not probably stop it under red,
No
right?
caution, bud. No caution.
Caution hasn't come out yet.
It definitely will.
It has to now. He stopped on the race, off the racing surface, but inside the corner. Michael's getting out of the car. Now the caution comes out. Oh, so much heartbreak. That's unbelievable.
It's like Darth Vader.
He's probably about as unhappy as Darth Vader right now.
We saw him slowing and blew the right front. Looked like coming out of the trioval.
I saw him coming off turn 4, and I looked, and Hamilton Jr. was right behind him. That's the shot I saw, and I said, man. And I started to say Hamilton Jr.'s gaining on the 99 about that time, and then that right front tire disintegrates.
That's the first right front problem we've seen here, this track. This weekend, I should say. Maybe not ever, but this weekend.
All right, here we go. Pace truck is off.
It's somewhere in there.
Somewhere in the vicinity of.
Yes. Okay, good start. Good start.
Hamilton Jr., David Green, Greg Biffle, Kevin Harvick, Jason Keller, the top 5. 1 lap to go at Kansas. Green to the inside. Hamilton Jr.'s in trouble. Into the wall in turn 1.
Oh, no.
He either missed a shift or ran out of gas.
They have not called for the caution. So they'll race back to the finish line because of where Hamilton Jr.'s car is. They're going to let him race back to the stripe. David Green is going to pick up the win.
It is, from what I understand, the rule is not supposed to happen that way. I'll be very interested to see how this plays out.
3rd win of 2003 for David Green, and they get the caution flag at the finish line. Finishing results, David Green gets the win. Kevin Harvick 2nd, Biffle, Parker Jr., and Ashton Lewis with a nice top 5.
Go back 11 through 20. We'll see Wally Dahlin back in 15th. Lead lap. Bobby Hamilton Jr. will be credited with 19th.
He fired the car up and drove it back around to finish that last lap.
Riggs in 13th. So David Green had a lot of good luck today.
Yes, he did.
Still looking for the 5 of Brian Vickers.
Where is he? Next page, maybe.
And Michael Waltrip finishes 24th. There's Vickers. 32nd. Man, he was the championship leader coming into the day. And that's how they ran today here at Kansas, Dave.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. was so close. Bobby, what happened in the last lap?
It fluttered, it wouldn't go. I cleared it out 3 or 4 times, and it just fluttered and it wouldn't go. And David, you know, you want to know how you win a championship, be as lucky as that man. I figured Green be bad luck, but I guess if he wants them that way, he can have them.
And this is a huge win, especially after what happened at Dover. First off, let's talk about that last restart.
I about ran into Bobby Jr. I was watching Biffle back there to try to block him, and if Todd hadn't have said go or something like that, I'd have ran right back in the back of him. But man, what a big turnaround. Dover was obviously a low point for us, and these guys never give up. And Bill Davis has been good to us all year on our engines and DI on the big stuff, and can't thank Teresa and all those folks enough like they need to for big races like this. This is the only way I could run with Michael. You know, for once I could go down the straightaway with him. So what a great effort. These guys, we had some problems right here, and they bounce back, but got to say hi to Diane and Kaylee and the kids and wish they were here, and we did it, baby.
From the lowest of lows of Dover to the highest of highs of Kansas, David Green's in victory lane, Alan.
And the championship even closer, now with 6 races to go. Jimmy Johnson, thanks for spending the day with us.
You got it. Thanks for having me up here. I had a great time, and hopefully I didn't mess you guys' show up too bad.